Welcome to the Open Book Podcast. I'm Crystal.
I'm Steph.
And I'm Brie, and together we're your hosts bringing you all things books, deep dives, theory spirals, and never-ending TBRs.
Every week we're cracking open new reads, revisiting old favourites, and spiralling down rabbit holes of fan theories, character analysis, and chaotic book talk.
Whether you're here for the romance, the heartbreak, the plot twists, trope lists, or the unhinged debates about who we'd die for or rank higher,
there's always room for you in our book club.
So grab your coffee, your annotated copy, and get comfy.
Because this is the Open Book Podcast.
Okay, hey guys, welcome back to the Open Book Podcast with Brie and Crystal. We are back. We want to talk about ACOTAR. Because I don't know if you guys saw, but Sarah J. Maas did a amazing, it was like 2 hours, wasn't it?
It was
the
so
Call of
good.
Daddy podcast last week, and we were just hooked and sat and watching and hanging on to every word and being like, how are we not having, I think we got to like an hour in and we were like, we need more.
Give me more.
Where is the date?
We were messaging like, it's coming, I know it is.
It's gotta be coming. Like, we're like, no, like, we can't fast forward. Like, it was so funny. But Sarah announced that we are getting 2 ACOTAR books in the next year, because one is coming out October 27th and the other one is coming out January 12th, 2027. And then the next part will hopefully be, I want to say next year as well. I reckon that'll be.
I want to say next year.
In 2020. I don't think she's going to leave us like she did for so long.
I don't think so.
But it's super exciting. So it's ACOTAR 6, ACOTAR 7. We still don't know who it's going to be about. We know roughly the page length. So the first one's like 300 and something pages, isn't it?
Mhm.
And then the second one, which is 2 parts, is like 950 pages or roughly around there. So that's pretty thick. I was looking at books today to be like, what is the equivalent of that? It's like,
It's almost like Kingdom of Ash.
yeah.
It's
How
a
many
pretty
pages is
big
that?
book. That one might be over 1,000, but it's close.
Over 1,000. Yeah, it's like 9 something, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are super excited. And we just want to have a chat about it because ACOTAR is like, well, anything SJM is like Bree's forte. You've heard her say it before. She's like the mascot of the SJM universe. I'm over here like, yeah, I've only read ACOTAR, so I am about to read Throne of Glass and Crescent City. I know, I'm sorry, don't worry, it'll be done. I'm sure I will enjoy it. Please don't come for me. But I feel like I psyched myself out a bit because like,
I think a lot of
it's
people
one of
do.
those series you have to really commit to, but I just needed the push, and now I've got the push because the next books are coming. So I'm super excited to start that. But Brie, what is your take on the whole ACOTAR situation? Why do you think people like it so much? Or, you know,
I think
talk about it so
ACOTAR
much.
I think like for a fantasy, like a romantasy, I should say, like I feel like it's a fairly easier read, to be honest. Like I read ACOTAR after Fourth Wing, so it was a little bit more complex than Fourth Wing, but easy enough for me to follow where I wasn't really like confused. Like I understood the magic system. Like I kind of understood we have humans, we have fae, and then like obviously other little creatures in between, but for the majority the biggest ones were like the humans and the fae. So I feel like it's like an easy thing to kind of get in. I always tell people to start with ACOTAR out of everything in the universe, just because I think a lot of people come from romance, and I think ACOTAR is the most romantic, I guess, out of all of them. It really more so is like a love story between them with a lot of plot, but it does focus a lot more on the romance than like maybe Throne of Glass does. Throne of Glass is not. It's really like there's some little bits here and there, but it's not smutty. It's not spicy by any means. I don't think there's any in Throne of Glass at all. Which it was a younger adult series, but I think ACOTAR is just like an easier thing to follow. I think people really like the romance, and they can kind of get into it when it has that romantic element to it too. That also like I guess like adds to the plot. Like the romance adds to like the story, which I think people like. So I think that's kind of why it like took off. Because I'm gonna be honest, like when I first saw ACOTAR, I was like, I will never read that book. I was like
Yeah,
convinced.
same.
I literally saw it
I was
and
like,
I was like, that is a book I'll never
no.
pick up. I'm not gonna do it. And then once I read Fourth Wing was the only book at the time. Like Iron Flame and Onyx Storm weren't out yet. And I loved Fourth Wing. I loved it so much. I was like, wow, like maybe I do like fantasy, you know? Like maybe I do enjoy it. It just really depends on like which book. So I was like, okay, ACOTAR's the next like popular book. Like honestly, it probably is a little bit more popular at the time when I was reading it. I was like, let me try it. If everyone's liking it, I probably am gonna like it, you know? So I picked up the first book and like I liked the first book. I wouldn't say I was immediately hooked. I would say like I enjoyed it. It was a good time. And then I was like, but I still wanted to continue, so I had to like go out and get the next book. And then after like A Mist and Fury, I was like hooked. I was like, I need every single book now. And then even while I was reading the ACOTAR series, I was like, I'm not going to be one of those crazy people that do theories and do like read all the series. I don't want to do the universe. I'm never going to pick up Crescent City. I was like, I'm never doing that. Like, I was like, that's huge. I have no interest in that book. And then I finished ACOTAR and I was just like, huh. And like I waited a couple days. I was like, huh. And I was like, maybe I should try Throne of Glass. So like I bought the first one, and then I was like, you know what? It's okay.
And then you were
like,
done.
I'll just read the first one, and then literally the next day I bought the rest of the series. And I was doing like a challenge for myself. It was when I was turning 27.
Throne of Glass done then? All finished?
It was
by
done.
Then? You read it?
Yeah, it was done for a while. But I remember it was November. Because I was turning 27 that year. So for my 27th birthday, I wanted to read 27 fantasy books. I wanted to challenge myself for the month of November.
Right.
I wanted to
that's an easy way. We go Sarah J. Maas.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to read all of Throne of Glass because that's already like 8 books.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's like a great way to. And then I was like, I could do Throne of Glass, Crescent City, and then at the time there's only 2 Crescent City books. So it's like at least right there's like 10 books. Like I could just get them all off like. Check them all off, you know? It's a series, it's easy. And then I was like hooked. And I was like, and none of my friends in like the real world read the series at the time. And I was literally like screaming in my kitchen. I remember when I closed the second book of Crescent City, I was like, I need somebody to read this. I called every single one of my friends and I was like, I don't care what you do, but you're reading this universe. Like, you're doing it for me because we need to discuss all of this. And like I got like all my friends to read it. So like every single person now has read it in my circle. Some of them are still like not fully finished, but like I have friends that have finished the entire universe. And like I waited so long to communicate with people, but that's why I started doing theories, and that's why I ended up becoming so obsessed with it because I had no one to talk to about it. It's kind of like Boys of Tommen, how like we had no one to talk to, so we started talking to TikTok. And I was like, this is
what talking to the internet.
I just started talking to the internet. I started following like
we do already have people. No friends. Like we talk to the internet.
There were so many.
Don't
really
worry,
cool...
I'm doing this for you, Brie. If anyone was to ask me, I said I bought these books for Brie. I actually went to the shop. I bought Crescent City, and the lady was like, "Oh, is that a good series?" I was like, "It will be because my friend said I have to read it." And she's like, "Oh, that's great." I was like, "No, like you don't understand. I have to read this."
Like I have to do this. Like
I have to do this for Brie, so I will get it done. Don't you worry. And I know, like
I think
I'm a mood reader, so like if I'm clicked on and I'm in the mood, I will devour it. Like I used to read Cassandra Clare a lot growing up and like devoured those series.
Shadowhunters.
And they are like somewhat complex fantasy once you start like diving into like Infernal Devices and all her like other spin-offs. They are quite similar, I want to say, with that like I guess kind of layered approach to characters and world building and like plot twists. So like when I read ACOTAR, it kind of gave me that similar vibe when I was reading to like Mortal Instruments and things like that. I was like, oh, this is kind of giving me like similar, like written differently, obviously, but like similar vibes. And I was the same. Like I read ACOTAR. I think I read it after Fourth Wing as well. And I was like, I mean, it's okay, but I was like under the assumption that this is going to be a very smutty book. So I was like, okay, here we go. Like, and at the time I didn't read a lot of, like I read a little bit, but not a lot. So I was going in like thinking that it was going to be like this complete, like, I don't know, smutty fairy story, right? And then I was like, wait, I'm confused. And the whole time I obviously didn't vibe with Tamlin, so I was like, I don't get it. Why are we liking him? I was like so confused. So like I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure I rated ACOTAR 3 stars because I was like, I don't understand. But then I went to like Mist and Fury and I was like, much better. Okay, I
Much
think
better.
this is where we're supposed to be. I was like, what the like, and it's like one of those things though, like the first book you gotta like get through and like
It's like a
I
world
don't know, get
building.
through, but like understand it. And like because obviously the first book was like the foundation and not the actual like romance plot, you're like,
Yeah.
oh right. This like I think I like the second one. I think that's my favorite, Mist and Fury. But yeah, I was the same. Like the first one, I was like, but you know, I'm
Like,
always
it's
someone who's
good.
like, if it's a series, I will give it its
Yeah.
worth and I will read all of them. Like I will not make a judgment based off the first book because often I think if you do that, like that's really you kind of put yourself in a box because
Yeah.
a lot of people's first books aren't always going to be the 5-star read. Like
No.
because they're just setting up the world and they're
Yeah.
just building things. Like some people are, but I find a lot of the time they're like 3-4 stars until you kind of learn what the actual story is, particularly in a fantasy as well.
I
'Cause
feel
you're
like
like,
even sometimes, like the first time you read it, like it might not be a 5 star, and then once you like almost get to the near end of the series, you're like, wait a second, now I
oh,
like
that
this
was
book
much
even
better.
more,
100%.
and I'll like
Yep.
re-rate it almost, and I'll be like, I
I
actually
agree.
really really enjoyed it. So
I
like
agree.
sometimes
I know it's like
I
as well.
yeah, you like rate too
Because
early
like
almost.
yeah, I agree as well because also it's hard too because like within that series, like for instance, I just reread Silver Flames and I was like, I fucking love this book. This book is so good. Like, why did I like? And I was looking at my rating, like, oh wait, no, I did rate it 5 stars. Okay, cool. But then I went back and I was like, some of the other ones I only rated 4, and I was like, well, do you know what? They're probably a 5, but they're just written different. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, it's very interesting. Like, I feel like my rating always changes in a series.
Always.
Like, I'll start off like low, and then I'll be like, oh wait, no, that one was much better than what I thought it was, and I'll lift it up
All the time.
But reading is subjective and it's also the mood you're in. And sometimes you just don't vibe. Like sometimes personally I don't vibe with third person. Like I struggle so much.
I do too.
Particularly in fantasy. I'm
Me too.
like, oh God. Like, because I'm already trying to like figure out who people are, let alone like watch it from afar, you know?
That's why like
so
I
I
was
was surprised
shocked.
that I liked Silver Flames the
Yeah.
best
Me
as
too.
well. I mean, it's kind of mixed. It's hard. I feel like you can't. I don't know. Silver Flames is its own entity. I want to say,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
you can't compare it to the other. Like you can't compare it to Farah's and Reese's
Because it's
arc.
like a spin-off, you
But
know?
it's 2 different stories. Like
Yeah, it's not the main trilogy, if you will. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah,
this
yeah.
whole new
It's this whole new
thing.
thing. Like if you had
Yeah.
to put them up, I'd probably put them both up. But yeah, what are your favorites?
My favorites are A Court of Wings and Ruin and Silver Flames. Silver Flames would be my top, but I love Wings and Ruin. Every single time I read that book, I sob. And like sometimes I always think it's so like the surreal. Like I can't even think about it because I'll cry. But like that book is so good. Like I think it doesn't get enough rep, and I think it's because it has a lot of action in it. But like
There's a lot going on. Yes.
there's so much that happens in it that I'm like, wait a second, this is really, really good. Like it's a good book. But yeah, so I have a special place in my heart for that one. But Silver Flames will always be like my favorite out of all of them. But I really a lot to Nesta, so like I feel like she's just like a character that I really, really resonate with, and I have for like since I picked up those books. So I really liked her story, which is crazy because I hate third person. I really don't like it.
Yeah,
so
me
for her
too.
book to be like one of my favorites, I'm like that. It has to be a really good story for me to
Has to be a
enjoy
good story,
it.
and it did. It had really leveled out, like the playing field with Nesta. I never really understood the Nesta hate online.
I think a lot of people either have been hurt by a Nesta or just couldn't understand her. I think it's kind of similar to a lot of other female like characters that are very complex. Like if you don't relate to one personally or if you've been affected by one personally, I think it could be very difficult to like that character. But I don't know. I think it just comes up to perspective. Like I see why people don't like some of her actions, because a lot of her actions are shitty. Like, they are. She makes some bad decisions, you know? But also, like, being someone that does relate to her, like, I kind of can see why she makes those decisions, you know? So I feel like it's just putting yourself in, like, that person's point of view. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. It's really, I don't know. I feel like the like book talk, bookstagram, whatever conversation around ACOTAR is normally around Nesta.
Yeah.
And I never really understood it because I was like, wait, is this all before Silver Flame? Like I was just reading Silver Flames. Like when did we push over the edge? Because like to me, I personally don't think she did anything too. Like she did some shitty things, but I'm like, oh well, is what it is. You're a sister.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Exactly.
Like just like
exactly.
you know, you're not gonna be like. There's always one that's gonna be a bit more, you know, argumentative
She's
and
also the eldest,
impulsive
so
and.
yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, who saved the fucking day? Oh, Nesta. Like, so like to me, I'm like, yeah, Queen, get it. Like,
Yeah.
Whereas like I didn't really relate to Farah. I was like, oh well,
I didn't either.
She's like, do you know what I mean? To me,
Yeah.
she wasn't giving. I mean, I know I need to reread it, but she wasn't giving that like really strong, powerful, independent
No.
MMC. Like she grew into it, but she
Yeah.
was very much like
Favour's a
on
hard
her
one
own
because
journey.
she's a really difficult character. Like, I think she is complex in her own way, but like she's a very difficult character because I agree. I don't think she's like very, like, I wouldn't call her like the like most like badass FMC, you know? Like, I think she's a really cool FMC, but like I just don't think she's like the most badass. Like, I think she's very powerful. I think she definitely, like you said, like grew into her like who she is. But like for me, I think maybe it's like some of the fandom space too. Like, a lot of times people were very upset like how like both sisters, Nesta and Elaine, didn't like jump in to help take care of the family, and without Feyre, like they would have died and stuff like that. My thought process around that was Feyre didn't have to do it either. She just chose to. That was
Nobody
her choice.
did. They could have just
it was her choice. So like I relate most to Nesta. I probably would have reacted like Nesta. Like, I would have tried to sit around and wait until my dad did something. I would try to force my dad to do something. Like, Pharaoh is more like, I'm just gonna do it. Like, and like I'm like that to a little bit, but like not when it comes to like parental like relationships. Like, I would have definitely followed what Nesta did in that situation more so than Pharaoh.
And that just comes down to like your whatever experience and relationships and whatnot.
Exactly.
But
but even like Elaine.
No, I definitely think Sarah is one of those characters that kind of like not like from the get-go. Yeah, she was definitely like trying to do her best, and you know she was really trying to make the right decisions and you know whatnot. But then she kind of obviously got influenced and then was like went on her own little journey, you know. Which I think that's the most interesting part of the story is it doesn't follow that standard like badass FMC from the beginning who like is just independent, knows how to fight, you know, all that stuff like from the beginning, and you're like, well, okay, so she's gonna be the main character. Like you're like, okay, right. But for Farrah, she was kind of like still had, you know, more skills than most people and then was able to kind of
she had to survive.
Salvage those and create this life, but she also wasn't, to me, like wasn't seen as someone that if I look at other MMCs and other series, do you know what I mean, that are like strong from the beginning and you can't break them, you know, like that kind of I guess vibe. Whereas Nesta obviously just had like this mask and was like someone who was internally strong like the whole time and just didn't really show it until the end. But I think
I completely agree.
It's interesting because like they're different FMCs.
She does a very good job at showing the difference between her like main characters. Like like even though they're all sisters, they have very opposing personalities, and I think Sarah does a really good job at showing that.
Yeah, so I like that. Like I like that. Yeah, you're not just showing like your, you know, blueprint of a fantasy
Yes.
book where it's a hot MMC that may be a bit morally grey or maybe has some trauma or whatever, but he's still a badass and he's the leader, right? And then you've got the girl who's like a badass, maybe like independent, can fight her own battles, blah, blah. Like you kind of got a bit of it, but not completely. Like
No, she like set
you
her own
still
standard.
had, yeah, it was like
And
a
you'll even
combination
see
of,
like in the other series too, like even in Throne of Glass and Crescent City, like they're very like powerful female main characters in them, but they're so different. Like it's so interesting how she can make someone so strong and so powerful and so independent while also still keeping like their authenticity and their like personality. It's really interesting how she does it.
yeah, kind of just shows
Like,
that everyone has like weaknesses and
yeah, she does a really
like
good job of showing
looks
that.
at life differently and
Yeah.
thinks differently and prioritizes things differently. So yeah, I think that's what I like about it. But I mean, overall, I think ACOTAR is probably a series that most people would enjoy.
I think so.
Because you've got elements of like, yeah, everything in it.
Everything. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes in the next
I know.
2 to 3 books.
I'm very
3
excited.
books though, like how do you like, and if it's one big story, that's my question. If it's one big story, whose story is it? Like,
so when before she came out and like said anything, when we assumed it was just gonna be one book, not like the big giant book that she's doing now, but like when we thought it was just gonna be like a single novel, I was always against like that multi POV type of story, but now that she's doing like this big like part 1, part 2, 3, 4 type of like big book, I think it's gonna be multi POV. Like I think it's gonna be a lot of different characters.
You kind of have like, do you think it'd be multi POV but still third person?
I do think it's gonna be third person.
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna go back to
then
first
she can
person.
flick in between. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be like a third person, but it's kind of maybe even like a Throne of Glass style. So once you get to like, you'll see it like later in the books, Throne of Glass. But I think she's kind of gonna go maybe even do like a little bit of a Tower of Dawn situation.
Right.
But I could definitely see a lot of, because she said in the podcast like there was POVs that like surprised her, and like that makes me think like it's gonna be even more POVs than even just the main couple. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I think there's gonna be more to it. Like I don't know, maybe Nesta will have a POV, maybe Moore will have a POV. Like maybe I don't know, Ares, I don't know. Maybe he'll have. Maybe I don't know. There's so many options that she could just like throw in there. Like that would be really interesting. So I think it's still gonna follow like the romantic storyline, and there's still gonna be that, and there's still gonna be couples, but I think it is gonna be more interwoven, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Interesting to see where it will stop.
Stuff kind of like merges together. Like even like I don't know, like I feel like there's like a bigger plot that needs to be solved right now, like from where Silver Flames ended. Like there's so much conflict that has not been solved that like a lot of it's gonna have to kind of merge together in order to get to a solution. So I think there's
because I feel like Silver Flames, we didn't really get anywhere. Like
no,
we got
we
really
you know
didn't.
what I mean?
Like I don't know, like I think about it now and I'm like, wait, yeah, we didn't really get anywhere. We like did a lot of things. We did little missions and got little things and got the trove and all this stuff, but like we didn't actually
like
progress.
We still have a lot of people like Poshi's still out there. We have a lot of things going on in the human lands and like the continent, and like
we
there's
still
just
have
so
a lot
much
of enemies. We still have like some sort of war brewing that we don't know.
Like the
what
human
it is,
queen.
but it's
like
happening.
we have a lot of stuff going on that wasn't solved.
Yeah, it's almost like Silver Flames was like a filler for the war, but it was so fucking big.
I know, it was a big book. I forget exactly how many months it was, but I think that book is over. It's a pretty big chunk of time. It's not like huge, but it's a fairly big chunk of time. That book. But it's like very interesting because like there is within the other series too, there is gaps in like a timeline too. So like I'm interested to see where she takes the next ACOTAR books, because like I have been seeing like like ads and stuff for like the upcoming books, and like they are recommending you read the whole entire universe. They're not just recommending ACOTAR anymore. So like I
Yeah.
have seen like prepare for the next ACOTAR books, and it's literally like Throne of Glass and Crescent City. So I'm like,
Yeah.
she could do a lot of different things with
Mm-hmm.
what's to come.
Yeah, I've seen that too, which I think people are interested and a little bit overwhelmed because, like I said, I
Yes,
think a lot of people have read ACOTAR, but they haven't
yeah.
read the other series. Some people have read Throne of Glass and ACOTAR, and some people just haven't read Crescent City. That's the consensus I've seen online. Is
I've seen
Crescent City
people
hasn't
read
been
ACOTAR
something that
and
people
Crescent City, and then not Throne of
picked it up.
Glass. I've seen a
Yeah,
lot.
so I think it's interesting that, yeah, I mean, it would make sense though, like to understand, like anything, I would prefer to read all the books by the author
Yeah,
prior to a release of a book so that you are more prepared for what
yeah,
could be coming. And I also find that like when you read books from the author, you can also see their style and their foreshadowing and the way that they link things, and you
yeah,
can pick things up and be like, well, that's probably similar to what's going to happen here. Like it's
yes.
like they don't do it, they do it subconsciously most likely because that's how they write, but you can definitely pick up on, like I think of it with like Chloe, like all her
All the
books
time.
she's written previously is foreshadowing for everything that's about to happen in Bot. Like, there's no
Yeah,
doubt about
I
it.
know. Like
But
after
like,
reading
you
like the
can literally
Broken
read it
series
and
and like the
go,
Carter kids, you can
yeah,
like
you can read it
see.
and go,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can see how we're traveling down this path.
yeah,
So if you haven't read those series, guys, we highly recommend it.
yeah,
Yeah, like you read it and you go, oh, like there's definite foreshadowing in the way that the author writes, and obviously
yeah,
because it's like an interconnected universe,
yeah,
all the crumbs are there for us to find, guys. So we are
yeah.
excited because we will be doing a full reread. Bree's kind of planned it out. It's going to be starting at the end of March. It's going to go through up until I think we said September, so the month before. Is it
I
September?
think we'll probably throw it into October.
Oh,
But
October. Okay.
we'll have a little bit of time off before the release. Just so like if
Yeah.
people
So
read a
we'll.
little slower or faster, they could kind of go
Okay.
follow it, but like go at their own pace in a sense, give them enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you want to enjoy it. Like you don't want to
Yeah,
rush yourself if you haven't
exactly.
read it. And like yeah, we'll be having weekly chats on the podcast just like
Mhm.
this, where we just talk about the book that we read this week and what we thought about it. And then when we get closer to the end, we'll do like a final wrap up of what we thought after reading the whole universe. So I think it's exciting though, because then you get people like me who hasn't read all of them to be like, oh,
Mhm.
I'm excited to read this. Like I love reading things for the first time, and it's so exciting to do it when you have people to talk about with
I
it, because I'm
know.
assuming
I'm
I'm going to
excited to
be like,
buddy read it.
oh
Like
no.
the fact that we get to pick up the book at the same time together and be like, "Oh my god, what page are
Yeah.
you on? What page are you on?" And like we could just like discuss it,
Yeah.
and I'll be
So
like,
it's
"Give me
gonna
your
be so
thoughts." And
fun.
like I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm
So
so excited.
excited. So we are starting that at the end of the month. So if you want to join us, just make sure you're following us on Instagram, because we'll be putting up like a graphic with like the schedule basically.
Mhm.
And then we'll be chatting about it on here. But yeah, I guess we are just generally just like, did you expect to receive the news of 2 books within
No,
a year?
no.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
I
I
almost
didn't
gave
expect
up
that.
that we were getting the book, so I was
I
like,
feel
I don't
like
think it's
because she was going on Call of Daddy, I was like, okay, we're gonna get a book. I didn't expect it to be 2, let alone
no.
3.
Yeah,
In the 4 parts, and let alone that quickly as well.
yeah.
Like,
I'm actually
but
really shocked
that's
at how quickly we're getting them back to back. Like a 2 month gap is
yeah,
like for Sarah J.
that's
Maas book. I'm
wild.
like, what do you mean? Like I don't even know how to process that
Yeah,
information. Like
yeah.
that's just crazy to me. I
I love
literally
how
the
she's like,
first
I'm
thing I
not gonna be
did.
held back by the realities of the glue. I'm like, yeah, you don't
Yeah,
need
you
the
tell them.
glue.
But it's so
Someone
cool how
commented
she's
was like,
doing it.
I think the rebinders will try and defy
Oh
the
yeah, they're gonna
purposes of
merge all
glue.
those books. I'm gonna have to
They
buy
will
a
try and
copy.
beat the glue.
It's just so exciting because like so the I went to a midnight release for House of Flame and Shadow when that came out. And like have you ever do they do midnight releases by you?
Not really. No.
Not really. But, like, they normally do it for, like, the bigger books. Like, they've done it for, like, Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. They did it for House of Flame and Shadow. And it's, like, such a fun time because it's, like, literally so many people at your bookstore that are just as nerdy as you. And, like, we're all wearing, like, our merch. And, like, we're all just, like, literally so excited. And it's just, like, a packed, like, Barnes & Noble. Or, like, I always go to Barnes & Noble. And it's packed. And, like, my Barnes & Noble, like, will do, like, specialty drinks. So they'll, like, make, like, drinks related to like the books. Ooh. And they'll have like little games and events, and it's so much fun. So like the first thing I did after I finished Call Her Daddy, I literally messaged my Barnes and Noble on Instagram. I was like, we're having a midnight release, right? Like, we're doing this. And they're like, yes, most likely. I was like, thank you, I can help plan. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so it's like, I don't know, it's just something so exciting about when you get like one of your favorite series again. Like that is a big series like this, because so many of the world comes together to like enjoy it together, and like it's such a rewarding feeling, like having like a community.
Reminds me of like Onyx Storm release.
Yes, that's exactly how it feels. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. And then like everyone's reading it at the same time, and you're like, what part did you get to? And you're just like
dying at the same time.
We're all up at midnight, and like it's just crazy. Like,
well, that's the thing. I'll get it at midnight, and I'll start reading it, and I'll be like, "Oh, guys, I'm all alone over
I know.
It's
I'm gonna
only
be
300 something pages, so I will be done.
You'll be done, and I'll be just getting it.
You'll be getting your book
at midnight. I'm gonna have to like set my Kindle to like Australia or something.
I'm gonna be like, dude, I'm done.
I need to discuss it. I'll be like, I will be there soon.
That was me the other day with In Her Own League. It like dropped in my Kindle at midnight, and I was like, well, better start reading it. And then like I'd literally read it before my paperback was delivered to me in the morning. I was like to the Amazon guy, I need it, but like I've already read it.
It was really good.
It was so good. But yeah, what have you seen online so far about the ACOTAR announcements? I've seen like everyone talk about rereads and different ways to read things. That's confused me a little bit. What else have you seen?
I've seen a lot of like people doing rereads already. Like I've been seeing a lot of graphics where people are creating their own rereads. So that's really cool because there's gonna be so many out there that everyone can like do. Obviously shipping wars, there's always going to be like discord around that. So I have definitely seen a lot of different debacle around that. Like some people think things are confirmed, some people think they're not. So
yeah. And I mean, I have questions about that because like I know we've talked about this before, but like I was genuinely confused. Like finishing ACOTAR, I was like, wait, where is everyone getting this information from? Like I was like, wait, how do we know that like as is like I was just so confused, and I was like, where did I miss something? Like I know there's little bits, like there's little things, but to be honest, I didn't feel like there was a lot in the books that could tell you whether Elaine was going to get with Az or Gwyn or whatever. And I was like, where is this coming from? And then you've enlightened me and told me there's this bonus chapter, and I was like, oh, what?
Yeah. I would say a lot of it comes from that bonus chapter because it's just like, if you haven't read it, I think it was in a Barnes & Noble exclusive, but you can find it online nowadays. But it's an Asriel bonus chapter, and like he has an interaction with Elaine where it's like kind of flirtatious and a little bit seductive. Nothing crazy happens or anything like that. He also is like gonna give her a necklace, blah 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 blah. Rhys kind of stops the whole thing. He basically is like, she has a mate, and like Asriel's like, but what if it chose wrong? And then like Rhys is like talking about like, do you feel obligated to or like entitled to a sister? It's like this big thing. It's just a big thing. You have to read it because I'm going to explain it with my bias.
We might link it below if you haven't read it, because I personally hadn't read it until Bree told me.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it with my bias, and I don't want to skew you in any which direction.
Yeah.
So I think you should read it for yourself. To make your own like kind of judgment on it, but it's really a short chapter. It's tiny. It's a very short chapter, and it's just like it kind of has Elaine in it. It has Az in it. It has Gwyn in it, and you'll see like little bits. But I think a lot of the discourse comes around that bonus chapter. I mean, yes, little bits throughout the books as well, but like I think a lot of it comes from that too, because people like to hyper focus on that one. But yeah, I think that's where like the biggest.
That's where it kind of stemmed from.
Stuff comes
interesting.
from. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I love theories, so like I love like obviously like we wouldn't have this podcast if we didn't. You know what I mean? So like
Literally.
literally, so like we love a good deep dive. We love good theories. So like for me, like I think it's just fun to like kind of like pick up on things like throughout the book, like body language and things like maybe the average reader might have missed. In order to kind of like be like, oh, I think this is what's going to happen with the next couple, or they're going to be the next couple. It's supposed to be fun. People take it to an extreme, but that's with anything. So, you know.
Yeah. I think because it's written as third person as well, there's only so much you can pick up on, guys.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, it's not a first
in
person.
their person's head, and we actually get some like subtext, or we actually can like listen to or what they're actually thinking about, or that's actually written down. I think it's hard to pick up on things. Generally, I'm just like, sure, whoever gets it, without like Sarah, just give us whoever's supposed to be with whoever. Like,
Yeah,
but to me,
it's
I
what
was
happens.
generally just like, wait, did I miss like? Because I was like, when does Gwyn?
I
And
got very deep in like the shipping wars.
I haven't had many interactions, and then I'm like, and Lucian hasn't even been around, so I'm just like, I'm confused.
There is so many people that are like, there's amazing theorists out there. There's like literally there's people I've been following since I've started reading, and like they are actually phenomenal. Like so many like wonderful theorists out there. Like Yaz the Bookish, like Emily theories are really good. A Happy Hermit, she's really good. Chemical Rosie, like there's so many like amazing theorists out there that literally like have like they have this series and like the entire universe down to a T, and I have followed them like chronically for like I feel like it's been my entire life. Like, but it was so funny because when she announced like the next two books, like a lot of these people are like they post about other books, but it's like here or there, and like this is like their baby, you know what I mean? So like it was like seeing everyone like rise from the dead, like coming on to my like Instagram, like they were all rising. They're like, I have risen.
Like I'm back. I've been revived.
Oh my gosh, we haven't seen you in so long. Like, where have you gone? You know? Yeah. And it was just so funny to see like all these people. But there's some people. Tumblr is very big on the shipping, and Tumblr's not a big thing anymore. But for the shipping of like ACOTAR and stuff like that, it's huge. Like I made a Tumblr just strictly for the shipping wars because I wanted to read all the theories, and you couldn't do it like if you didn't have like a Tumblr, like it would like limit you. So I was like, I have to make it so I could read all these amazing theories, and there's so many, like it's like pages long, like literally like they found every piece, every crumb. I'm like, I love these people. Like they are so smart.
I love that. I mean, it's all fun and games, but I mean, whoever ends up with whoever, I'm excited. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of a triangle. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of, angst and like, we are going to reject the bond. We're not, why talk about it if we're not going to do it? But, that kind of stuff. I wouldn't mind any of that. But whoever ends up with whoever, sure. That's the way it was supposed to be written at the end of the day. So I'm excited to see. But thank you for enlightening me, because I was honestly just like, over here like, what are we all talking about? Because
it can get crazy out there very fast.
It got crazy. I got a little bit scared.
It's maybe avoid it.
Talk or whatever you want to call it, and I was like,
don't do it. It's very scary.
I went back to Bookstagram. It was much nicer. And
any fandom I'm learning is just a little bit psychotic, but I'm a part of it, so it's okay.
Yeah, literally. But anyways, we're excited to see what you guys think, who you're excited for, who you think the book is going to be about, or all the books, I guess, because it is 3 friggin' volumes. And if you're going to be doing a reread prior to, and I guess, if you've read it, what's your favorite? I want to know what your favorites are, because I think it's different for everyone depending on when they read it. I want to know if my favorites change on a reread. I would like to know that. I don't know.
I feel like every time I read a book, I'm like, that's my favorite, and then I'll read the next one. I'm like, that's my favorite, and then I'll read
it gets better.
That's also my favorite.
Yeah, no, totally agree. But so we are excited. We will be posting that graphic this week. So if you guys want to join us on our readathon, please do, because we need more friends to talk about it with. And this is probably going to be our whole new personality moving forward. Courtesy of Bree.
I'm even wearing my Cauldron Blessed.
She's wearing her Cauldron Blessed sweatshirt. So stay tuned because we are going to be all over the ACOTAR news moving forward. But we just wanted to have a quick chat with you to talk a bit about how excited we are, what we're looking forward to, and set some goals in place because I'm going to read, it's 16 books, right? So how many
There
is?
is 8 Throne of Glass. Yeah, 16 overall, I think. 8 Throne of Glass, 3 Crescent City, and then 5 ACOTAR.
16 books. We could do it, y'all.
You could do anything you set your mind to.
Do anything. I'll probably read them all.
A little
in one
delusion
week.
goes a long way.
That's completely fine. But anyways, we will see you guys soon. Okay, further for more. Thank you. Bye.